Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome to a scene from the changeling world of darkness. Today we have Xander at his freehold. Um, it is brought to Xander's attention that there's something that seems to be a little off about the freehold itself. Um, some really weird particulars are going on just outside the out stretches of the freehold. So Xander feels that now would be a good time to go take a look at this before he heads off to start doing some work at Crutchley.
Okay. And it's a good thing that Xander has because he definitely notices the freehold. It's like almost a harmonic resonance that you weren't aware of before because everything was operating like an optimal level. But now that it's been brought to your attention, you do notice that something is a little bit off. It's not anything like immediately alarming. It's almost like, but it is something that you know to be like wrong just by like kind of like as a matter of fact, almost like when you hear the wrong key being played or sung, it just resonates as wrong. Something in the air about the freehold definitely seems off. Um, the freehold itself is still safe. This sense of wrongness, this sense of um, something that doesn't quite belong is coming from the near dreaming, which is the realm that surrounds the freehold.
Hmm. Okay. Xander's going to prepare to go out and just take a walk about um, the grounds just outside the outstretch of the freehold. He is not going to take Cece with him. He's going to have her stay. He doesn't need her running off. Uh,
When you say prepare, what type of preparations is Xander making?
um, as normal, Xander is wearing his armor clothing, so he's going to grab his swords and he's going to go over and grab one of the cases that um, Timmy has brought for him. Now would be a good time to test uh, this new weapon out. So maybe he'll get some target practice while he's out.
Okay, so go ahead and describe this case and what's within it.
Um, okay. One of the cases that Xander picks up, there are two cases. One's white, one's black. He picks up the white case. Opening up the case, it is a bow. Um, it's a very ornate silver to goldish bow. It just looks like it's the bow without the string. I haven't posted pictures of it yet on the uh, what's known as Zeta boards, but all the specs for it has already been posted. This Xander has finally gotten himself a hold of I believe it's called an Inferious bow, which is a lightning bow. And it is a treasure. Um, and what is it? It is a level 4 treasure. In the real world, it is a 9 millimeter. It's a Colt 911 white 40 cal, and the other and on the handle of the gun and the handle of the bow is etched Xander and Kagoma's name. And the other case, the black case, is inscribed with Kagoma's name.
All right.
So he's going to take the white case.
Okay. So leaving the freehold, leaving CC behind, you go about surveying your the land that connects your freehold to the near dreaming. Um, it's darker than it would normally be. It's darker than it is in the actual reality currently. And there is a crisp chill which hangs in the air. Um, this is also part of that resonance of wrong that kind of um, um, like floats or emanates, pervades your the area which surrounds your freehold. Um, in the distance, along the horizon, there are storm clouds that crackle with red lightning.
Oh, that's a new one. Xander keep wandering around. He's trying to see if he can get a sense of, is it like just everywhere or is it coming from a direction?
So that sounds like perception and kenning.
Hmm. No.
Um, so it's not a botch, but you're not sure. You Xander had spent the months leading up to this occurrence like more focused on his mortal side of things. So um, coming to the dreaming and having someone else point out that something wrong was wrong with the freehold, even though it was Kagoma, it just seemed kind of off putting for you. So you're just
Yeah.
not, there's a lot of turmoil, so you can't really get a kind of like a fix on what's really happening, or where it's coming from. Maybe if you tried again later after you centered yourself, you might be a little bit more successful. But right now, it's just kind of like too much of a shock.
True that. Hmm. Okay. You know what? Xander's going to go for a run. He's going to just go running through the woods.
Okay.
You know what? Fuck it. He's just gonna go out and have a good time. Just
Okay.
you know.
You go run it, and I imagine the freehold is kind of like this, in kind of like this woodland bowl with like this spire that comes up from the center, and off to the
Correct.
edges, there's like this forest that kind of like doesn't dare to encroach on the immediate grounds of the freehold. Um, because during the first instance, this whole like bowl was filled up with like this water from all those tears and stuff like that. Um, after the previous owner of the freehold had disappeared or died. But now it's forest. The water is receded and the grounds has been reclaimed by forest. And Xander does. You do that. You go for a run, and um, once you find the forest, you will notice that the trees are oddly colored. They're green, but then it looks like the deeper you get into the forest, the more the trees are flecked with like silver. It almost looks like they're kind of like snow speckled at first, but when you stop and like look at it a little closer, you notice that these trees are definitely like speckled with silver, a silvery metallic sheen. Um, all the properties of actual what you would think real world silver to feel like in the dreaming, um, but it's it's a tree. It's a tree. Still delicate, still same-ish texture, just a little bit smoother.
Hmm. You know, how thick is it? Is it like coated with silver, or the whole thing is just brittle like silver? I mean, like a brittle silver.
What do you do to examine the tree? Examine the tree.
I'm trying to see is the whole tree silver or like just part of it?
Yeah, yeah. And how are you going about determining that?
I'm just staring at it, just looking closely at it.
Yeah. At first, the trees were had spots that were silver. But the deeper you go into the forest, looks like the more and more the trees become entirely silver.
Okay, I'm going to go to like one of the trees that isn't all the way silver and try to see how the coating is on it. I mean, does it look like it's gradually turning silver or the silver is encroaching on the tree?
You could stand and you could look at examine the tree for a while, and you don't notice the the part of the tree that's silver and the part that it isn't. That bond that line, that boundary isn't moving in it.
Okay.
Not at least to the, it's not discernible to the naked eye.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna see if I can take another roll here.
Go and see if you can take a what?
Another canning and perception roll.
What are you trying to sense?
Again, I'm just trying to sense if there is a directionality of this thing,
I'm sorry.
or if it's coming from a direction.
If you're trying to sense if what's coming from a direction.
The not the silver, but the feeling that I was getting earlier.
The that feeling of like wrongness.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and give me another perception. Kenny roll. We're going to increase the difficulty to 7. Okay, so it looks like 2 successes there at difficulty 7. Um, you can sense a vague direction. It's coming from deeper into the forest with surround Sanders keep. Um, you're almost running in the right direction, but it's more north than the easterly direction that Xander had just chose at random to run in. Um, you can't really get a sense for what it is, but you could, with 2 successes, you could definitely kind of get a general vicinity or kind of general tug of where this kind of wrong resonance is coming from.
Okay. I'm going to head in the northern direction.
Okay. As you do, the forest looks more and more like a silver. Until all the trees that you encounter are completely silver. At that point, the forest gets noticeably colder. And on top of the trees being silver, it looks like you've entered some kind of wintry kind of domain as well.
Okay. I'm going to take a minute and to like take a an accounting of where I'm at, and I'm trying to determine whether or not am I still within the boundaries of my freehold.
Your freehold is the building, it's the place. And its influence definitely can extend to just about the tree line. But you're in the near dreaming proper, which
All right.
all bets are off.
Yeah. Okay. So from here on out, I will be very
Please do.
careful.
All right. So what are you doing?
Okay, I'm going to continue to investigate.
Okay. Definitely getting colder. In the in the distance, very suddenly, you hear a howl. And it's a long, high pitched howl of a wolf. And then the howl is joined by another, and then another. And the three don't harmonize. You know how wolf howls don't quite harmonize. They kind of reverberate in that way that you're not sure how many are making the noise now, and you can't quite pinpoint the location of the howl where they're emanating from.
Okay. All right.
Think fast. This is real time.
Oh. All right. I'm going to keep moving. I'm not going to give myself a chance to get stonewalled here.
Okay. So when you say keep moving, are you progressing deeper into the forest towards this kind of like this knot of kind of like wrongness, or like what do you mean when you said you're going to keep moving?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to keep progressing forward.
Okay. Give me a perception alertness roll. Okay. Two successes at standard difficulty. So, out of the corner of your right eye, you see a big blob of thick fur, a thick white fur, as a wolf kind of like jets back by you. It's not close to you, still about 10 yards away, but you know, far too close for a wolf to be within 10 yards of a person. Um, and it looks massive. Like the TV shows really don't convey how big wolves really are. And it's moving by you. It looks like it's trying to get up a flanking position because it definitely sees you. It's definitely trying to get a more favorable position, which will be at your back.
No, we will have none of that. Let's see how well this bow works. I'm going to take a shot in the wolf's direction.
Okay. Um, the wolf was definitely probably trying to move both stealthily and quickly to kind of achieve this optimal, flanking position. So I say that will be its kind of action for the turn. So you want to shoot the bow in this direction. So give me a dexterity plus archery roll.
All right, and the bow is a difficulty 6. Dex and Arch. All right. Now, the bow pulls back and gives off a crackling honey golden sheen as it launches a lightning bolt.
Okay, go ahead, roll damage.
Ah, no, the damage, if it hits him, it's 7 ag.
Is it rolled or is it automatic?
Automatic.
Are you sure?
If he, yes.
Let's go ahead and roll it just in case.
Okay, what am I rolling then? Does that
You're rolling those 7 dice of damage.
Okay.
It isn't automatic damage is very rare in World of Darkness because the die can not. Yeah, you could not get a success on your die. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ag. All right, and the bolt kind of screams forward, and it's electricity.
Yes.
And
Lightning.
Streams forward and kind of with like this humming ferocity and plants itself like right along the back haunches of this silvery white wolf, and it falls over a lip in the snow. You can see like its muscles kind of like tensing and contracting in the as it falls over with like a whine.
I'll keep moving.
Okay. You proceed another maybe 10 yards before you're face down with 2 more silver wolves. They're kind of hunched down. They're low. They're growling. They're almost kind of like invisible at first as they emerge between the silver trees and snow. But with the growl and their threatening posture, they're kind of definitely like puffed up. They both kind of like advance on your position. Go ahead and roll initiative. All right. So we just want to add your Dex plus Wits and add that 6 to that. So what number do we come up with?
Oh, Dex plus Wits is 5 and 6 is 11.
All right. So Xander. So the order is going to be you, then the two wolves. So it looks like you, as they come out of the kind of like mailed from the fours, almost like they were invisible previously. You still kind of are quick enough, maybe like hyped up from like that first attack, that you're kind of like immediately ready again. So what do you do?
Am I near a tree?
Definitely. We're still through this. We're still going through the summer forest, and it's cold, and there's snow on the ground. The wolves are about 10 feet in front of you, not yards. They've kind of crept out of seclusion, so they're definitely within attack distance. And there's trees all around you, so you can definitely like run to a tree and like get up if you needed to.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to jump to a tree.
Okay, so let's go strength athletics to see how capable you are at scampering up a tree.
Okay.
What do you do with the bow? Do you just sling it? It doesn't have a string.
There's a carrying case for both. Both bows have a carrying case.
Okay.
Carrying strap, rather, like a holster.
Okay.
Not very good, am I?
All right, 2 successes. So you're getting a start at it. I'm going to say that you've gotten about 10 feet up into this tree. There's a combination of difficulties you find when you go to climb the tree. It's silvery, so it's a lot more slippery than you had anticipated. So you just have to kind of like adjust your strategy. You kind of was like, oh, trees, I could climb trees. So you just have to adjust your strategy a little bit to get higher. But you think you kind of got a knack for it.
Okay.
That's your turn. So wolf number 1 is going to kind of like try and jump at you, gnaw off your tail. So that's 3 successes. I'm going to say you still have the opportunity to kind of like dodge. So go ahead and give me a dexterity plus dodge roll. See if you can avoid the wolf kind of jumping at your backside.
No sirree, Bob. You won't think your teeth into my ass. How my ass got you, dog.
Oh, but my friend, there are 2 wolves, so you avoided that wolf.
Oh, my lawyers.
All right. So wolf number 2 does the same thing. Just gets 1 success. So, being unable to dodge.
Pardon?
I said, oh, it got 1 success to kind of jump up and kind of bite at your backside, but it got 1 success. But I'm going to say it got your leg or something like that instead. So just one lethal point of damage. As it kind of like gnaws. Oh, actually, that's one lethal that you could soak with your armor.
Mm-hmm. It's she armor 6, correct? Right. Correct.
Oh, I don't have my book in front of me. You just go look that up real quick.
Yeah, 6. So is it the armor rate plus your? Or is it's just the 6 die for the armor, right?
It's your stamina plus armor.
Okay.
Yep. I think you were able to soak that one lethal. So now we're back to the top of the round on your turn. The wolves are it kind of like hangs from your leg for a little bit, dangling in the air before you kick it loose. And they're both kind of like growling, kind of circling the tree.
Okay. By the way, I should probably show you this. The bow is 1 glamour for 10 shots. So I have spent a glamour for this to use the bow.
Okay, so 9 shots left.
So I'm going to peg another.
So one success. I think Wolf is going to abort his action and try to dodge. And it is successful. So, like, describe how you're kind of like 10. Or are you just like, you went 10 feet up into the tree and then you're like, screw it.
Yeah,
Settled up with a branch and started shooting again.
Yeah, I'll just see if I can
Okay.
get bitches.
Okay. So it kind of like nimbly is kind of like bolts off to the side, kind of in a weird kind of like burst of speed kind of way. And the other one kind of just looks at you as growls as it kind of paws at the ground. Gives you a very disdainful look. But since you're kind of leveled off on a branch now, it doesn't make any moves to kind of like jump at you. It kind of like starts to back up, and it almost like fades into the forest surroundings. But there is one wolf still there.
Now then, I am going to see if I can nail this sumbitch. You said he just like faded into the background, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a shot at the other wolf.
Okay. It's going to abort his action again to dodge. So kind of like Nimbly's kind of nimbly dodges out of the way again. Still kind of sitting down there growling menacingly.
Hmm. He just then looks down and smiles at it. And he's going to use Primal. And move dog. Um, see if he can like entangle it. Because it's still it looks like it's still expecting him to shoot another arrow. So he's going to feign like he's going to shoot an arrow, and he's going to use Primal.
Okay. So what's your cantrip? I mean, what's your bunk?
Um, he just like he goes to pull back on the bow like he's going to shoot it, and then he's just like twirling his fingers like a vine, like commanding the vine to twirl.
Okay. I think that's more of that power falls more in the province of Legerdemain, which the second level is called Entangle, or Gimmicks. I think you're trying to like create basically something to like trap it, which is like Eldritch Prime, right? Like Primal level 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think the effects are relatively similar. So yeah, we could say yeah, because look at the book. It says whatever you're summoning is going to show up in the most natural way possible. So rain bubbles down. So we're going to summon up roots to um, kind of like imprison this thing more than entangle it.
Right.
All right. So go ahead and make your roll.
That wolf is against yeah.
All right. Difficulty is 3. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes minus the 1. So that's 4 successes. So the health levels of this root prison is going to be 2 health levels for it to bust out. All right. So, and the wolf does it. So describe your cantrip and how it affects the wolf.
Okay. Then just like winding his finger towards it, and it grows up from underneath his paws and it wraps around the wolf's body.
Okay. And the wolf kind of growls the sound that sounds more like annoyance than anything else, and it kind of like starts to like gnaw on these roots that have kind of exploded up to bind it fast. So rolling first attack roll. 3. So rolling damage roll. So you bind it, but it kind of like manages to like chew itself free on its turn. And what it doesn't chew free is able to kind of like just to kind of rip its legs free from the vines that you've summoned. So back to your turn.
A nuisance. Um, let's see if they're still paying attention. I'm gonna try to nail it again with the bow.
Okay, so 2 successes. On this turn, it's going to try to dodge. Nope, this time doesn't make it. So go ahead and roll damage.
One, two, three, four, five.
All right, and the kind of energy kind of thrums forward again, and you can smell that kind of hint of fried ozone. And it slams into the wolf and its haunches, and it kind of falls back, and it's kind of like that seizing that you saw from the other wolf, as it kind of like you see like his muscles tense, and finally they kind of go limp.
Does this look like an ordinary wolf?
Is this the near dreaming?
Well. Okay.
To answer your question, no, it does not look like an ordinary wolf. But I'm not sure you should be expecting an ordinary wolf in the near dreaming.
That's true.
It is very white, and it kind of has a silvery sheen to its fur. So it's kind of silvery white wolf, just like the other two.
Okay. All right. All right, I definitely have to play Xander here. So, okay. At this point, Xander's probably going to head back towards the keep. And I think Obi has went silent. After surveying the local area, Xander is going to, try to take account of just generally what's in this area, and he's going to go down and inspect the wolf.
Okay. The pelt is really beautiful. It's this, it's white, and it has like a silvery kind of like a pattern in the white fur, the snow white fur. But yeah, it's a very gorgeous animal.
And it is dead.
It's very dead.
Okay. All right. He'll take the wolf.
Wolves are really heavy. It's a large wolf too, so it's about like 160 pounds or so, 150 pounds, I think.
Yeah, I think Xander should be able to carry that.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, it's not like it's nothing. So you definitely
yeah,
because you have
track. And
well, you just want to remember you have your weapons. You're in full chi armor, and now you have an additional 160 pounds. So this is not like
so he's going.
This is definitely.
Oh no, yeah, and some bag of holding going on here. Yeah, but he'll definitely make his way back to the keep. This he doesn't know what else is going to be going on, so this is probably something he's not going to want to continue on his own.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception kenning roll to see if you can. Well, actually, I'm going to say perception kenning to see if you can sense where your keep is, even deep into the near dream. I think you still might be able to sense it. So just trying to find your way back.
Oh my God. What's the difficulty on that?
Standard. So one success. I mean, it takes some doing. You kind of get turned around a couple of times, but like after about like 30 minutes or so, you eventually find some trees that looked familiar, like the pattern. You're like, yeah, I remember looking at this tree because this one like is kind of changing and it was facing this way, so I came from that way. So you eventually puzzle it out, but it takes some doing.
Okay.
And you get back to the keep. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, Xander's thinking that. Yeah, that was fun.
Wax poetic right quick. I'll be right back.
All right. At this point, Xander's going to take the fur. And he's going to skin the animal just outside the field to the keep. He's definitely going to this. I believe it is on a list of foods that Cerulea will eat. So yeah, Cerulea is going to have some nice. Cece is going to have some nice meats.
All right. Sorry about that.
Oh, all Xander was saying was that he's going to field dress this thing. Cerulea is going to have some really nice meat to play to gnaw on, and Xander has a really nice pelt.
All right. So, is there anything else you wanted to do before we call this a day?
I think Xander has had enough excitement. He's definitely going to want to address some of this with Kagoma at some point.
Okay. Well, in that case, thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, DJ, for playing. And I hope everyone has a good one.
All right, and we shall leave the scene there.